Hey guys, it's Miss Cash and welcome back to Word Study. Today is Thursday, March 26th, and I'm excited to jump in with you guys. All you need right now is your packet and a pencil, and we are going to jump right into our word of the day. Get ready. Word of the day. 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 All right, our word of the day today is envied. So I'm going to give you a second to think about what it might mean based on this sentence. Miss Cashin noticed how nice Miss Dixon's new sneakers were and envied her. Take a second to think about what envied might mean based on that sentence. All right, write down your answer. What do you think envied might mean? Envy is jealousy or wishing you had something that you don't. So if you envy something, you really want it. For example, when my brothers and sisters were younger, they were envious of all of my books because I had cooler books than they did because I was older and I could read better. Or you might think of something that you noticed somebody bring into your classroom for show and tell or for something that somebody brought in their backpack that you really wish you had. Wishing you had something that you don't have is called envy, and it's a synonym for jealousy. So lock that in your brain. We'll go back to it. And just to remind you, yesterday's word of the day was illuminate, and illuminate means to light up. Today's word is envy, and envy is the past tense of envy, which is an awesome segue to our word study topic for today. Today, we are talking about different tenses, and words that come in tenses are called verbs. Verbs are action words, and they're things that you do or things that you are. Remember, if you remember my video from last week, verbs are things that you do or things that are always true. So that's something you can have in your brain. But there are different types of verbs based on when things happened. Verbs in the past tense already happened. It's an action that is over. You have already finished doing it. For example, you could say, I dropped my phone, I sang very loudly, I turned 25. All of those things already happened. And the best test to figure out if something is past tense or not is whether or not you can add yesterday. If you can add the word yesterday onto a sentence, then that verb must be in the past tense. A past tense verb is already done, and you can add the word yesterday. Lock that in your brain. A past tense verb already happened, and you can add on the word yesterday. Here's an example. See if you can figure out what this is. I actually don't know what this is. You can just say box. That verb would be dropped, and the verb drop would be in the past tense, which is dropped, because it already happened. Now, the present tense is kind of the trickiest of all three, but I know you guys can do it. Verbs in the present tense can be things that are happening right now, like I'm talking to you right now, or I'm cooking dinner, or I'm patting my head. All of those are things that are happening right now. Another way to write or to talk about present tense verbs is things that always happen, like I wake up at 6. That's something that always happens. Or I sing in the shower. That's also something that always happens. It happens every time I sing. So if you can add the word right now to the verb, and usually that's with an ing word, like I am talking or I am scratching, then that's a present tense verb. The other way to think about present tense verbs is things that always happen. Like I always wear pearl earrings. That's not really true. I often wear hoop earrings. But you could say I wear pearl earrings, or I wear hoop earrings, or I have hazel eyes. Those are things that are always true. So your test for present tense verbs is, can I add right now? Is it an action that's happening right now, or can I add always, which is an action that happens all the time? If you can add right now or always, it's in the present. The way that my class does it is we go past, present, future. If you can add yesterday, it's in the past. And if you can add right now or always, it's in the present. The future tense is things that will happen later on. Future tense verbs always have the word will. So if you see two words in a verb, it's going to be a future tense verb. Like saying, I will eat a ton of ice cream, or I will clean my room. If you can add the word later or tomorrow, then the word is in the future. I'll give you a couple examples. I will go to bed early tonight. I will run tomorrow. I will cook dinner. All of those are actions that have not happened yet. You can also talk about things that will be true in the future, like I will visit my sister. That's something that I will do in the future, or I will be 26 in April. Those are all future things. So, as a reminder, past, present, future. If you can add yesterday, it's in the past. If you can add right now or always, it's in the present. If you can add tomorrow, it's in the future. The easiest way to lock it in is yesterday, right now, tomorrow. Yesterday is in the past, right now or always is the present, tomorrow is the future. All right, now that you have that in your brain, let's jump into our first activity. We're going to turn to the next page in your packet, which should just say 326. And don't worry, because we'll review this a lot as we go. All right, the first thing we're going to do is figure out, let me pick a new color today. I'll do blue. We're going to circle the action verb, and then we're going to write past, present, or future. In Cornell, we write P for past, PR for present, and F for future, just to save time. All right, so first, I know that I have to circle the action verb. Number 1 says, Daniel will choose a baseball bat. Circle the action verb. What is the thing that he is doing? Well, the thing he's going to do is he will choose. Now, notice that I circled 2 words there. Take a second to think in your brain, why did she circle 2 words and what does that mean? Daniel will choose a baseball bat. Past tense means it already happened yesterday. Present tense means it's happening right now or always happens. Future tense means it could happen tomorrow. Oh, I circled 2 words because that word is in the future tense. I could add on, oh, that was a little messy. Sorry, guys. That's a fancy F. I could add on the word tomorrow. Daniel will choose a baseball bat tomorrow. So I knew it was in the future because I could add the word tomorrow and also because it had 2 words. And whenever I see the word will, I know it's got to be the future. Cool? Past is yesterday. Present is right now or always. Future is tomorrow. All right. Number 2, he steps up to the plate. Where's the action? Circle the action. What is he doing here? He steps. Sorry about that, guys. His action is steps because in the sentence, what is he doing? He's stepping. Now you got to think about, is that past, present, or future? Did it happen yesterday? Is it happening right now, or does it always happen? Or is it going to happen tomorrow? Take a second to write P for past, PR for present, or F for future. That verb is in the present. So I'm going to go ahead and write. It's very hard for me to write with this tool. I'm sorry, guys, but I think it's easier for you to see, so I'm going to keep using it. PR for present. I know that that verb is in the present because it's talking about what he's doing right now. And if it's right now, it's in the present. He steps up to the plate. When does he step up? Right now. Next one, number 3, the pitcher tossed the ball. What is the action verb in that sentence? Well, he tossed the ball. So the action word, I really don't know why it does that. Sorry, guys. The action word is tossed. What did he do? He tossed it. When did that happen? Can you add on yesterday, right now, or tomorrow? The pitcher tossed the ball. Well, that's a past tense verb. It already happened. If it says he tossed it, it means he already threw it. It's over. I know that that is in the past tense. So I'm going to put a P right here. I also know it's in the past tense because I could say yesterday or already. So I know it already happened. Daniel will swing hard. What's the action in number 4? The action there is will swing. Because when I'm asking myself, what is he doing? Well, he hasn't done it yet, but he will swing hard. What word could I add on to the end of that to figure out when this happened? Past, present, or future? Take a second to think. Well, I know it hasn't happened yet, and I also know that there were two words there. Anytime the word will is there, I know it has to be in the future. And I could add on tomorrow. Daniel will swing hard tomorrow. So because of that, that verb is in the future. See, that was so nice and neat. The ball struck the bat. What is the action verb in that sentence? The action verb is struck. What did the ball do? It struck the bat. That means it kind of like hit it, right? Okay, so now I have to ask myself, is it in the past, the present, or the future? Past happens yesterday, present happens right now, future will happen tomorrow. Will. Ball struck the bat. That is in the past tense because I could say the ball struck the bat yesterday and I know that it's a completed action, it's already done. Number 6, the ball flies through the air. What is the action word in that sentence? The action word there is flies because oh man, my pencil really flew through the air. What is the ball doing? It flies through the air. Past, present, or future? Well, that action is happening right now. The ball flies through the air. That means it's currently happening. And I know if it's happening right now, it must be in the present. All right, not my best. Sorry, guys. Hopefully you can still see that's a P and an R. It landed over the fence. What is the action verb there? It landed over the fence. What did it do in that sentence? It landed. Past, present, or future there? Well, that verb already happened. And I could say it landed over the fence yesterday. So that verb must be in the past. Daniel will run around the bases. What's the action there? Well, it's actually 2 words here. It's telling me what he will do. What will he do? He will run around the bases. Now I know I already circled 2 words, and I also know I could add the word tomorrow. Daniel will run around the bases tomorrow. So that action must be in the future. The crowd screams loudly. Now the action in that sentence is pretty clear. The crowd screams loudly. What are they doing? They're screaming. Now, when did that happen? Past would mean it already happened yesterday. You could add yesterday. Present means it's happening right now. Future means it will happen tomorrow. Crowd screams loudly. Screams is in the present tense because if I see the word screams, it's telling me what they're doing right now. What are they? Sorry, that was so messed up. PR for present. What are they doing? They're screaming. The crowd screams now. He will slide into home plate. What will he do? What's the action? He will slide. Awesome. And is that in the past, present, or future? Remember, past already, present right now, future tomorrow. That's in the future. And the easy way to remember that is that it has 2 words in it, will and slide. Okay, let's see if I can remember how to scroll down here. Awesome. 2 more. Daniel's teammates cheered. What's the action here? Cheered. What did they do? They cheered. Past, present, or future? Remember, past already happened. You can add yesterday, present happening right now, future will happen. Could I add on the word yesterday? Yes, I could. So that word must be in the past because it could already happen. It could happen yesterday. You wouldn't say Daniel's teammates cheered tomorrow. That wouldn't make sense. And you wouldn't say Daniel's teammates cheered right now. That wouldn't make sense. So it has to be in the past. Daniel smiled proudly. What's the verb there? He smiled. What did he do? He smiled. What tense is that in? Past, present, or future? Remember, past already happened. And if he smiled, that means he's not smiling anymore. So that must be in the past. All right, team. Nice work. Let's move on to our next page. You can turn on to the next one. I am going to be typing this one to make sure that it's a little bit neater, and you can be following along and writing in your book. Now, all of these words should be written in the past. Let me show you what page you should be on. All of these words should be written in the present. I knew that there was a reason that was wrong. And you need to figure out how to write them in the past and the future. All right, the first one is shoveling. So shoveling is what happened right now. Now, if I wanted to talk about how shoveling already happened, I have to say, okay, if I'm shoveling and I stopped, I would say I already, or I did this yesterday, shoveled. So the past tense there is shovel. In the future, I want to talk about what I will do tomorrow. The future would be will shovel, like mom. I promise I will shovel tomorrow. Let's move on to the word jingle. This one I want you to do on your own. What would be the past tense of the word jingle? Like the sleigh already did what? The past tense would be it's something that already happened. And in the future, if you want to say, sorry, excuse me, in the future, if you want to say that the sleigh will do something, you would say the bells will jingle. Next word is glisten. How can you write glisten in the past? Like the lights, glisten is like when something shines a little bit. How can you write glisten in the past? Now I know to write about the past, I can add on the word yesterday or already. I could say the lights already glistened. In the future, it will happen tomorrow. So how can I write glisten in the future? Great. At Christmas time, the lights will glisten. Now, what do you notice already about those three words in the past and the three words in the future? Well, I see that all the words in the past end with an ed, and that's true of almost all words in the past tense. They're usually going to have ed, and that's a good reminder that the word is probably in the past tense. In the future tense, I notice that all three words start with will. Every single future tense verb is always going to start with will because it's telling you something that will happen later. Cool. Let's move on to climb. You already did it. You say, I did this yesterday. I climbed yesterday. I added ed. And if I will do it in the future, what would I write? Write it down. I will climb tomorrow. Skiing in the present tense. I am skiing. If I want to say it's already over, I did it yesterday, what could I write? I could write skied. Now that looks like it's spelled a little weirdly. That's correct. And in the future, what could I write? When I get there, I will ski. More. Skating. If I already did it, you say, I'm sick of it. I did that yesterday. I know that usually the past tense adds ed. So how could I put that in the past tense? I already skated. And then in the future, you would say what? I know it's going to start with will. I will skate. You wouldn't say I will skated or I will skating. That wouldn't make sense, but I will skate. This is a good one. I'm getting pretty hungry for dinner. Baking. How could I write baking in the past tense? I already, or yesterday, I baked. I added ed to the end, easy peasy. And tomorrow, I will do more of this. I will bake. All right, I want you to do the last two on your own. So take a minute to finish up for warming and bundling. All right, you should be finishing up for warming and bundling on your own. If you already warmed something, you would say warmed, like I warmed up your meal in the oven. In the future, you would say I will warm. It's kind of a weird verb, but you can warm something up, so it makes sense. You could say I warmed up already inside. How about bundling? In the past tense, I bundled up in a bunch of cozy clothes. And in the future, I will bundle my baby brother or sister so they don't get cold. All right, move on to the last page. I actually have the same thing. I just wrote it differently. So your page is going to look like this, and mine just looks a little differently, so we can talk through it together. Okay, so here the instruction says to complete each sentence by changing the verb to the past tense. Because none of these sentences. I just want to remind you, when we're talking about a verb in the past tense, it's something that already happened, and you can add yesterday. Present is something happening right now or always happens. And future is something that will happen tomorrow, or could happen later on. Now, in the future tense, you always have will, and in the past tense, you usually end with ed. That should make these pretty easy to write because we are writing all of these words in the past tense. My dad crafted a boat. How can I change the word craft to make it past tense? He already crafted a boat. Number 2, he mowed the grass. Now, that doesn't make sense because mow is in the present tense. He mowed the grass. How can I make mow past tense? I can add ed. I'm going to highlight these so it's a little bit easier for you to follow. He mowed the grass. Okay. I watch television in the morning. How can I make that past tense? Like I already did what? I can add ed. So I watched television in the morning. That tells me it already happened because I added ed. And I can also put on the word already or yesterday. Sam pick up his journal every day. That must be something that already happened if they're asking for the past tense. How can I make pick past tense? Add ed. Sam picked up his journal every day. We serve lunch at 12:30. How can I make that past tense? We already served. I added ed, lunch at 12:30. I pack my bags. How can I put that in the past tense to show that it already happened? I packed my bags. Grandma baked the best cookies. In the past tense, it would mean something she already did. Grandma baked. She already baked the best cookies. Now, 8 and 9 are exactly the same, so we're only going to do it one time. He painted the house. If he already did it, I would say he painted the house. We're going to skip 9 because it's exactly the same thing. He painted the house. Now, if you take a second to review here, we have added on ed to every single answer. And that is because when we're writing verbs in the past tense, we almost always need to add ed to the end to make it make sense. Remember, verbs, we'll review at the end. Emma, hike up the mountain. How can I make it past tense and show it already happened? I can add ed. Emma hiked up the mountain already. The train stopped in New York. New York questions always make me think of Noemi. Hi, Noemi and Cornell. The train stopped in New York. Could say yesterday the train stopped in New York. Now, the reason I had to double the P was so the word did not say stopped. I had to protect that O from the sneaky E. I wave to my sister. How could I show that that already happened? I can add B. I waved to my sister. That already happened. Sarah cook breakfast each morning. How can I show she already did that yesterday or in the past? I can write cooked. And the last one, Laura lived in Florida. How can I show that that's something she already did? I can add ed. Laura lived in Florida. All right, team, as a review, when you are figuring out, first, let's review our little word of the day. Envy is when you're jealous of something you wish you had if you don't. Envious of Miss Dixon's new sneakers. And when we're working on tenses, words in the past tense already happened. You can add yesterday. In the present tense, they're happening right now or always. And in the future tense, they will happen and you can add on tomorrow. All right. Thanks for joining me for Words today, guys. Have an awesome day.